Hi guys, Saturday 21st of March 2026, and it's been a while. I think it's probably been about 4 weeks or so since my last video, and my gosh, what a 4 weeks it's been. I've had a departure, or I don't know how to say it. Somebody passed away in my family, and that has had quite huge effect on all of us in my family, and yeah, kind of brings home a truth and a deeper understanding I think we all know about, and something that I know very few people in truth give a lot of thought to, the fact that we're not always going to be here. And also what's been happening is this let's just call it a conflict in the Middle East, and the effect that that's having also on the world at large. And my feeling is this is all planned. It's all meant to happen, because if it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't. And the orchestration of bringing about these kind of changes is well underway, as it always has been. So no surprises there, is there? What do you expect? What do we expect? How do we really expect this society of individuals to enact when they've only ever really ever enacted in the way in which they are now, to lesser or greater degrees? So yeah, I could go into that a lot. I've been looking at it quite a lot, quite deeply, as deeply as I can, about the history behind it, the causes and the reasons behind it, but it just keeps making me realize that this is all planned, and without any regard for everyday human beings, the common man, the common woman, there is very little regard, if any. So it's really important to be prepared. And what does that mean? What does being prepared mean? Well, it can mean anything to anybody, I suppose. But for me, it means not forsaking the connection within. First and foremost, the connection within is the most important and should always be a priority, because that will always give strength to even the hardest times. So once that is established, and that has to be established, as I say, every day, as many moments in a day as we can. And I think it's good also to have good, strong networks of people around you, around us, networks of people that can offer skills and services that are daily necessary in your life, in our lives, and also to, if you can, and actually everybody can, I can imagine, not everybody actually, but most people can still be more active in helping to raise the vibration of the world around you. I mean, we can only really affect what's around us in some ways. However, when we affect what's around us, there is a butterfly, a rippling out effect of that energy. So if it's possible to be able to be lifting, raising the vibes, raising the energies of the people around you, and I don't mean in a kind of, jokey, flippant way. I mean in a real way. Trying to bring your peace and your strength and your love, your gratitude into play as much as possible, as much as humanly possible. And that's not to say that we ignore what's going on in the world around us. However, there's no real service if it's just to spread fear and confusion and chaos, when we can also spread and share solidarity, solidity, strength, empathy, and like I said, gratitude and love. And I think that is very important to bring into our worlds, manifest and be the change that we want to see in this world. We need to take responsibility and bring it in, manifest it. And apart from that, the practical sides are, without going crazy, without being OTT, and retaining a space of gratitude and love, is to make sure that you have got what you need. What you need, not what you want, what you need. And again, that accounting is for each individual. Each individual has to make their own accounting, what it is they need, because everybody's needs are different, and everybody's needs are different, and everybody's needs are individual to them. So I think it's all about being balanced, not being asleep, being awake, being conscious, being responsive rather than reactive, and being patient with ourselves and allowing ourselves to be responsive, because the responsibility is always with us as individuals, always, 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 and that is a beautiful thing. We have the ability to be able to respond, as does the whole of nature. The whole of nature is just responding. It responds to different environmental, you could say, pressures or situations. And I've seen that so many times. One year there'll be a certain amount of one species, for example, will be taking over in the meadows, and the next year it will be something else. Different circumstances, different times of the cycles, different environmental impacts, creating different expressions, responses. And that's where we are responsive. But the whole problem is that when people become more reactive than responsive, we become reactive to all the reactions that are going on around us. And it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us. It's a bit like, when you're in the mud, in the sinking sand, you've got to stay still, and any movement you make could just take you down further. It's a bit like that. What's going on here? Things are always changing around here. There's my beautiful friends. Okay guys, well listen, I'm in it now and I want to be focused. So, as always, from my heart to your hearts, you take care, be prepared in the right way, in your way, be responsive to yourself and what you need, be able to give yourself what you want and what you need, and see you on the next one. Let me just say goodbye properly now I've parked up. As always, from my heart to your hearts, take care. Ciao ciao for now.